The crew is supposed to start getting all of this dirt and debris put back in. So this should be the final day where we are just in disarray, the front garden bed. So I'm hoping that it'll be sooner than later, because we're definitely going to have to get some grass seed put down. The only problem that we're going to have with that is the germination rate for the grass seed. Now I do have a few tips and tricks that I can use, but this whole entire trench right here is going to be just a headache to try to get grass seed to germinate, because when you have your fall temperatures, it's going to be similar to that of your springtime when you would normally drop seed, but the fall is the best time to go ahead and plant a new line, and we're definitely going to be needing one. Let's go ahead and pivot. I was wanting to work a little bit in the front garden here, not going to be possible at all given the current state of the union here. They were able to fill in a little bit on this side right here. As you can see, our sidewalk still is just a lot of just mud and everything. Hopefully they'll come and they'll be able to get all of this just patched in today, because I have things that I need to do. I definitely need to get the grass put in for sure. So you can see it's dirt along the walkway, but if we stretch over, I mean, this is a total disaster. You see our grass here, that's all disheveled and disheaved. Like the entire front garden is an absolute mess right now. And you can totally see where we still have this big, huge trench just dug up in the front garden here. So an absolute total mess, and it just stretches all the way down until it comes out in the front garden bed right there. So you can see the start of the sidewalk. Our pile of dirt here. This is the clay soil that I have to deal with. So we got our new line in, and so now it's pretty much them just coming in, reconnecting everything back to the main line here, back to our main water line. Here's our package, and we're going to move on to our next project. So let's get it in and see what we have here. Fresh out of wax. So my package was supposed to be delivered yesterday, and they kept pushing it back and kept pushing it back. So I have 10 pounds of paraffin wax here. So we'll go ahead and get it in our wax machine. I fill my wax up, and once I get it to about this place right here, I'll go ahead and I'll put the top on so that way it can increase the temperature. And I'm going to set my temperature at about 70, or maybe we'll go 80. We'll take these three. Okay, so I believe that this size of glass right here will be sufficient enough for us to soak just for the allotted time that we need. Yeah, so all of these should definitely work. So we'll get some water inside of the jars here. Maybe a little bit too much in this one. Once you soak the bulb, then from there, you're going to take out your cutting board. You're going to take your bulbs, and then you'll start the process here because now they're going to dry out. And we're going to just set these off to the side. Now from here, we're going to lay the Amaryllis bulbs on their side and we're going to let them dry out a bit. So I just have a small fan and I got to change the batteries in it because the batteries are dead. We'll put a fan on it and let the fan dry out the bottom of the bulbs. Now, a little bit of the process when you are DIYing Amaryllis wax bulbs, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you pre-soak the bulb. You go ahead and you pre-hydrate it. That is why when you see an Amaryllis bulb that's in the store and it's promoting a non-watering bulb, is because it's already been pre-hydrated. So once you hydrate that bulb, there's no need to go back in and water it for the rest of the season. And so you go ahead and you let your bulbs dry out. And I'm still pulling off a little bit of the roots here because I cut into the basil plate. The basil plate, now, if you are one that uses your Amaryllis bulbs as an annual and throw them out, I don't know why, because you can be saving so much money. I'm all about saving money, especially now in today's financial climate, honey. I need to save as much money as I possibly can. So reusing my bulbs is going to be one of the ways that I'm able to do such. So what you do is you go ahead, you let your bulbs dry out. So we're going to take a piece of wax paper and just set it off to the side, or parchment paper, set it off to the side. Now we'll get our wax. The wax should be melted at this point, and it is. So what I do from this point, I'll go in and I will pull it out if I can get it to cooperate. Just kind of take my time with this step. And I'll set it right there, and then we'll start the process. All I'm going to say, if you have trouble with your Amaryllis bulbs, trying to get your Amaryllis bulbs to stay watered from the time that you plant them to the time that they bloom, throw that watering can out and get you some wax. Let's do it. Now that our bulbs are dried out, you see how that basal plate is dry, and we have a flat-ish surface. Now this one could afford to be more flat. The only thing it means is it's going to have a little lean to it, and I like that because it gives it character. But the bottom is now flat. And you can see on this one, we do still have some roots coming out of the bottom. So we'll just go ahead and just knock those off. That's fine. And then this one is dried out as well. And I continue to leave a fan on. Now that we have our wax here, what I do is I work everything off of the parchment paper. So I'll set my bulbs to the side. And again, I pretty much keep them in front of the fan. I'll move my wax over here. All right, then we'll just start dipping our bulb here. And so while you're doing this, you'll start to see the shape that the wax is going to take. I submerge it all the way down. So it's a real easy process. So now from here, we're going to take our Mod Podge, if I can get it open. Ooh. Here is a close-up of what the bulbs look like. Now at this point you can go in and paint, or you can start off with a colored dot from the beginning, but we're not going to do that. We're going to take this another step and elevate our look. Let's take our Mod Podge and we're going to just start to put it over top of the wax. Here's what we look like a few hours after. So we're not quite dry, but you can really start to see the pattern really come through here. Now we're going to let these dry overnight, and I'm super excited to show you the end result of these. And I really can't wait until you see how we're going to style these girls. And if you like content like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel, because there will be a lot of more DIY crafts for the holiday that's going to be affordable as well too. So hit like and click that subscription button.